Mobile and Wireless Device Forensics Unit 3. Today we are going to discuss about mobile forensics. More specifically, mobile phones store a wealth of information, and we do not actually know how much of data is actually stored on mobile phones. And many a times we see the data is there, but how secure is the data on your mobile phone? We leave our phone unattended many times. So, is there a possibility of some data getting stolen, lost, altered without our knowledge? So, some of the items that are stored on cell phones that can be useful during forensic investigation is your call logs, which includes your incoming, outgoing, and missed calls, your messages in terms of your short messaging service, email, instant messaging, like WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, web pages, web browsers, photos, etc. So, in addition to whatever we have discussed earlier, we also have personal calendars, address books, music files, and voice recordings that are also stored on our devices, which can be useful during forensic investigation when we encounter such mobile phones in the crime scene or during the process of investigation. What we normally find the mobile phones, we call them as smartphones. And we need to understand that the components of a smartphone include the processor, an internal memory that we are storing the information in, our RAM, which currently stores the undergoing processes and applications that are running, a processor that you have, right? And then you have a radio module. Sometimes you have a microphone, speaker, any kind of hardware interfaces that may be there attached to your phone internally or externally, as well as you have a display that is there, on your phone with a touch screen. So mobile phones have presently we are operating with two operating systems worldwide. That is an iOS operating system and the Android operating system. So when you come to understand what is the acquisition of procedures of cell phones and mobile phones, you need to understand that when the mobile phone loses power, there will be loss in the volatile memory. So we need to ensure that the power is always there so that we can retrieve the volatile memory that is stored in the RAM, right? So making sure that they don't you will lose power before you can locate the RAM is very critical in forensics investigation. And the mobile device is to be attached to a PC via a cable or a workstation via USB cable or docking station, etc. as soon as possible. And we need to obtain information and permissions up to an hour of warrant during the time of seizure as per the Indian Evidence Act and the IT Act says, you know, certain the according to provisions that are laid down there. So we need to isolate the device from any incoming signals and any kind of communication that can take place. So we either place it in a paint can or a Faraday bag, or we also have more specifically called as a paraben wireless stronghold bag, which uses 8 layers of antistatic, to block the signal. But the drawback of using this kind of technology to block the signal will force the mobile device to search for signal and therefore drain the battery even more. So in the forensic lab, we need to check for these areas for retrieving the data for investigation. That is internal memory, SIM card, removable or external memory cards, system server, etc. The checking system servers requires a search warrant. So with that, we need to ensure that we are getting, and we need to understand what is the data that is stored in the SIM card. Now, with mobile forensics, we understand that we are changing the mobile phones very frequently. The technology that is there with mobile phones are also changing, every year. And the mobile forensic investigation also needs to adapt to the new changes that are there. So when you're acquiring evidence, we need to ensure that a PC, the system that you're using is synchronizing with the device so that there is, data that you can read. And we're also able to access other parts of the mobile phone, like the SIM card, memory card, etc. So make sure that you have installed your mobile device software on your workstation and that you're using. So currently there is Paraben that you can use. There is also Mobile Edit. There is also UFED. There's Belfasoft, NCase, FTK, everything. There are so many programs that we are using. Okay. So when we look at, you can see there are different programs that we use. So Paraben software device It enables also to read SIM card. Then you have data pilot, which is similar to Parabin. You have Bitprim that can be used to view data on many phones, but sometimes not intended for forensics, but can be used for forensics. And mobile edit is also there. That is there. We have SimCon, which is a SIM card related, forensic tool that can be used. There's something that we call as an external memory dump. It refers to the process of acquiring data from external memory stored in mobile device like a memory card. So we have a micro SD card that we put as an additional storage to our mobile phone, which can store data like photos, videos, documents, any kind of other data that pertain to different applications or usage of the user. So these data can be retrieved from the memory card. So this is known as an external memory dump. So external memory dump can be done regularly by taking out the memory card from the phone and subjecting to process of acquisition or imaging, data extraction and analysis, just like how we would do in a normal storage device. So we need to prepare the device when it comes to the process of physical acquisition, prepare the device so we understand what is the device, what are the cables that are required, what is the tool that is required, and then you extract the data, storing that acquired data, and then doing an interpretation of that data. So when we come to different types of acquisition, we have physical acquisition that is there, where the complete memory of the device is, acquired. We have logical acquisition, where the memory is divided into different parts logically, and that is what we are looking into. So the main difference between these two is that in physical acquisition, we will be able to acquire or recover data that is stored in, or we were able to even analyze slack spaces. But here, slack spaces cannot be acquired, so hence cannot be analyzed. Manual acquisition is done in cases where we are not having any kind of, tool to analyze the mobile phone. Okay, so without any cables and uses the touchscreen, it does not preserve the integrity of evidence, and not all data can be extracted using this method. File system extraction, where we are able to extract and analyze the data from like metadata, deleted data, activities, etc. Thank you.